If you are a practice owner and you are struggling with posting to social media and you just feel like you're not getting any patience from it and you're just not sure like which platform you should use, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or YouTube or any other social media platform, if you are just not sure what to do and you are tired of struggling, this is a video for you because in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly what platforms we recommend using, as well as the pros and cons to each, and help you figure out what is going to be the best option for you. So, if you are new here, my name is Morgan, and I am a physical therapist and a business coach for practice owners just like you who are just getting started in working in their own cash based solo practices, and you are wanting to work for yourself and feel confident in doing so. We offer a business coaching program called DPT to CEO to help take you from being a staff clinician to working full time for yourself or whatever dreams you might have for yourself. And if you would like help in growing your practice this year and getting started ASAP, definitely check out the links down below in the description for more information on our program, DPT to CEO. So in this video, we are going to be covering some information on social media at large, and these are all topics that we help our students with. We know that it is really frustrating when you are first getting started and you throw up a post to Facebook here, throw up a post on Instagram here, and then crickets. Nothing happens, don't really know what we're doing, and first of all, I just want to say kudos to you if you are posting. Anyways, even if you don't know what you're doing, that is the first step. That is the right thing to do. But from there, we do want to figure out what is going to be the most effective for you. So in this video, I really want to break things down in detail and help you figure out between like three major platforms that we see: Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, which is one of my favorite platforms, what might be best for you and what to expect from each platform. And I think that is a really big key to this. Some people, when they first get started, think, like, I'll make an Instagram account, I'll put up 2 or 3 posts, and boom, I'll be flush with clients immediately. It doesn't work like that. So just so you know, that is not the expectation. When you first get into using digital marketing platforms, it is going to take time and a lot of consistency and volume over that time in order to see results and a return on your investment in making that content. So buckle in because we've got a long road ahead of us. So let me pull up my notes here. We are going to be covering those 3 major platforms, as well as a couple of bonus options for digital marketing and a special pro tip to help make things more manageable. We find that clinicians often feel like they're wasting their time. They end up getting overwhelmed and just not sure what to do. And so what we really want to impart to you in this video is to take a breath for a second, and we're going to think through some strategy to help you figure out what is going to be the best move for you. And some questions that we get too. Do you have to post on all of these platforms? Do you have to post not only on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok? What else is out there? All these other things. Do you have to post across all of them? Absolutely not. I wouldn't expect anybody to when you're first getting started. That is incredibly time consuming and really overwhelming as well. And so what we usually recommend to our students when you're first getting started is we're going to pick one core platform, get good at that, and then we can expand into other platforms as well. And what if we don't have time to post across platforms? We know that our ideal clients are on multiple platforms. What if we don't have time to do all of them? That's okay. Stick around till the end where we are going to talk about the pro tip on how to go across platform once you get to that level. Once you're past level 1 of posting to one platform consistently and we want to go cross platform, we'll talk about that pro tip on how to make that possible because it's exactly what we do. So let's talk about the 3 big platforms. And we are going to talk about some specific reasons why you might choose one over the other and which one is going to feel best. So I made you guys a table. So for anybody listening on the pod, definitely check out the YouTube video because I have a chart and I love a good chart. I love a good table. So hopefully this is helpful. So what we are looking at here, we're looking at these 3 platforms. Everybody has preferences on which ones are the best. You're going to see recommendations across the board on which one to do. And I'm sure some people are going to tell you that one is 100% better than others. I'm here to just share some recommendations based on a few different key factors. So as you are listening to this, think about what is important to you and like what you're looking for, because the best marketing tool ultimately is the one that you are going to stick with, even if it's not quote unquote the best thing out there, according to, whatever marketing guru is saying something. Pick what is going to be best for you. Let's take a look at these. Number one, we are looking at Instagram. This is usually, at least as of the recording of this video, this is the first platform, social media platform that we typically recommend for new practice owners. Reason being, it is pretty easy for most people to set up. It does have a rating here on this chart of moderate, and I think it probably just depends on your history with the platform. Most people have some kind of experience using Instagram prior. And so it is usually pretty simple to get into, pretty simple to set up. And then as far as posting things go, I think that's where it can get a little bit more complicated between doing static image posts, carousel posts, reel posts, stories, highlights, updating your bio. I think as you get into actually like building things out and creating content, that's what brings it up to a little bit more of a moderate level. But don't be afraid. Everything's fine. It's still relatively simple. With all of these platforms, you can get really into the weeds and really into the details of what is going to make for the best strategy there. But again, this video is for somebody who is just getting started in their practice, or they are just getting started in digital marketing for their practice, and they want an easy, approachable way to get started with one of these platforms. A little disclaimer there. But we usually recommend most people start with Instagram. This is best for fast engagement. Not only is it pretty simple to set up, you can get your profile up and running within a day, like within a couple of hours, really, for your practice. And then it gives you the opportunity to connect with individuals pretty rapidly compared to the other platforms. I don't think that the other platforms are as fast. And so that can be great. And then with gaining new followers to your practice's account, it gives you the opportunity to have direct message conversations with people to talk about working together. Best use case is for posting educational content, showing client wins, and booking consultations via DMs. So what we also recommend for content is to sort of think about creating content between providing education and awareness, creating opportunities for engagement, and then also calls to action to share with your community and your audience that you're available for hire, that you offer services. Like I said, pretty simple. I'd say easy to moderate to set up. Speed of getting clients, it can be fast. The thing about Instagram, though, is that as we take a look at the content lifespan and learning curve criteria, the content lifespan, content does not live for a long time. And that's why it's so important to, as you see in this chart here, the content can live for approximately like 24, 48 hours. For the average piece of content, some more popular pieces of content might last longer. That's why it's so important to post so many times per week on Instagram. And then the learning curve, moderate, with figuring out, your strategy, what kind of content is going to land. So if you have those things dialed in, the consistency, and you understand what you're doing with the content, getting clients can be pretty quick, and you can even pour gasoline on the fire with boosting posts or paid advertising to really increase that. So Instagram can be a really great platform. Next, I want to talk about Facebook, because honestly, Facebook low key is my least favorite. It was my bread and butter when I first started my business. And I do know that for a lot of practice owners, the fact that there are local community groups on Facebook is really helpful. And obviously, you can run advertising on Facebook. Those aspects of things, if those resonate with your business model and your audience, Facebook could be great. It could be a great way to allow you to join local groups, to share success stories, to share advice, to have conversations with people. However, we have seen since, about like 4 or 5 years ago to now in 2025, the engagement on Facebook is not as good as it once was. So even though there are opportunities, I think they really have to be targeted. You have to be clear as to what you are doing there in order to make it the most effective. So between Instagram and Facebook, my preference and bias is Instagram. However, most people are familiar with the platform, so setting it up is typically pretty easy. Speed of getting clients, medium. I would say it's like medium as in it's a 50-50 whether like it's going to work for you. And here the content that we can see, lasts even less than it does on Instagram. You have to keep going back and engaging, more conversations, more commenting in order to make it useful for you. And then a moderate learning curve, of course. And then lastly, my favorite on this list for many reasons is YouTube. And I would say here, if you are a practice where you are wanting to improve the rate at which people find you on Google, I think YouTube could be great. Also, if you are a practice wanting to get into the online space, whether it's through telehealth, offering remote online services, offering online courses, any of that, YouTube. Like whether you want to rank higher on Google, get into the online space, YouTube, I think, is really untapped in a lot of ways and can be a really great way to reach people. It by far has the longest lifespan and highest searchability. With one of the practices that we were doing digital marketing for, she's a pelvic health practice, and we had videos on her channel that continued to increase in views, even if they were like 2 years old, because people were searching for the information that she was offering, and it made her practice more discoverable. And so this will allow you the opportunity to get your face in front of people and allow them to get to know you. You can create educational videos that rank high on Google and YouTube and create content around topics that people are searching for. And when people are searching for specific content, they are like problem and solution oriented. Like they are looking for help compared to the other two platforms of Instagram and Facebook. People don't typically go to those platforms to solve problems, like to look for answers to things. That it's a social media platform predominantly. And so anything that you are posting about your business is a little bit interruptive. So that's a major difference here. But with YouTube, it is a little bit challenging to set up. It's like, pretty easy. The logistics of putting together a channel, not that hard, but the overall like long-term strategy of everything and making sure that everything is complete for every video, there's a lot to it. The speed of getting clients, it's slower. However, if you are able to create consistent content over time, it is only going to age like fine wine. I promise you that. It is probably the best investment that I have made is in creating YouTube content. It does have a steep learning curve though. So most of the time, that's why I really recommend picking two. So pick some kind of platform that is quick acting, fast to get into, easy to keep up with, and then pick another platform that's more like slow burn, long term, more like racking up content until like your business is just all over the place. Because then when you do both, the quick acting stuff and the long term stuff, you're going to have a very comprehensive content aspect of your marketing strategy. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope this chart helps. I also made another chart that we can go over in another video on just like all kinds of different digital marketing platforms, but I specifically just wanted to talk about more of the social ones minus TikTok, because these are the ones that we will see more often as Instagram and Facebook. And then the one that I usually recommend to people is YouTube. So again, just kind of a summary here. Instagram is great for quick engagement and discoverability. It's pretty easy to set up, so there's no reason why your practice shouldn't have it, but you do need to be intentional about your strategy there and understand how the platform works in order to get the most out of it. And you also need to keep up with having conversations with your audience on the platform and giving your audience members opportunities to engage with you and talk about potentially working together. If you remain very passive on the platform, Instagram is not going to reward you. So those are things to keep in mind there. Facebook, I think if you are really local and you have like a niche or a sub niche that has some kind of specific local group on Facebook, I think that could be a great place to start and to participate in. And of course, there's advertising on both Instagram and Facebook. However, engagement on Facebook has gone down a lot. So unless you're willing to be on Facebook all the time and engaging, Instagram's probably going to be a little bit better of a bet. And then YouTube, excellent for authority and long-term growth. So between the three, I like Instagram and YouTube. Facebook is coming in third for me, at least at the time of this recording. And then lastly, so how do we keep up with the content? Because creating like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube content all of the time, every day, all week, every month, forever. That's so much, right? Enter the pro tip of repurposing content. So, if you are listening to this podcast episode, for example, the reason that it's on the podcast is because I created a YouTube video for it first. So, I recorded the video and then we take the audio out and publish it as a podcast. And then we take the transcription and publish it as a blog post. And then we cut up this video and publish it as Instagram Reels. And eventually everything gets sent out in an email. So with one fell swoop of about 20 minutes now of me talking after like preparing to make this content and everything, 20 minutes, I've now created a YouTube video, a podcast, a blog post, at least one, if not more, Instagram posts and an email to go out to my audience. And that's why I love content repurposing, because it saves so much time, but still allows you to continue to reach your audience on the platforms that matter the most to you. Between audio, video, and written content, you can reach a lot of people, which is pretty cool. So I would love to hear from you, because I know this was a pretty quick overview. Which of these platforms are you using? And if you are on TikTok and using TikTok for your practice, I would love to hear about it and hear more about the results that you're getting. Or if you hate all of these suggestions and you have different opinions and have other recommendations for the other practice owners watching this channel, please leave them in the comments below, along with any questions that you have. I'd love to learn more. And lastly, of course, if you are looking for help with building your practice into the dream career that you've wanted, and you want help with finding new clients and figuring out all this marketing stuff, and you're looking for a coach, hit us up. You can find the information down in the description below on the DPT to CEO program. And we will look forward to seeing you on the next one and hopefully hear from you soon.